My man Chavez Jr.
Man, I just can't believe he did that shit again.
Yeah, he quit and he was looking good.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, he was.
He was looking
winning the
good. Winning the fight was looking good. I was like, yo, he's putting the hands on Jacob.
He was hurting him.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, Chavez about to outdo Canelo in this motherfucker, man.
Yeah. Well, I didn't see exactly what happened. How did he quit? What happened?
He broke his nose. He told Chris Mannix that Jacobs kept elbowing and headbutting him in the nose. That's what he said.
That's a lie. That wasn't no headbutt. He was trying. What? Did you see that? Is that true?
So he's saying that Jacobs didn't win the fight. His illegal shots did. That's what he said. That's what he was quoted as saying.
Did you see any illegal shots?
Nah, man. I mean, it's boxing, man. So sometimes a guy elbow might hit you. Sometimes somebody's head might hit you. You know what I mean? But that's how it goes. It's a contact sport.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might get hit in the back or hit on the waistline or something. Where you're not supposed to be getting hit. But that's what happens.
Yeah. So well, the thing is,
it's just crazy, man. Because Chavez Jr. is like he faces the slightest bit of adversity and he just packs it in.
Yeah. Even if because he was working the body, even if he did get elbowed in those, so what? You know what I mean? That's the part of it. You know what I mean? That's
what I'm saying. Like, I mean, if somebody hits me, if somebody intentionally hits me with the elbow in the nose, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna elbow the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Right the fuck back. Yeah. I'm gonna do the old Mike Tyson trick where he'd follow through with the hook and then land that elbow right afterwards. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
he was looking so good. He was looking good. I was like, yo, them body shots were banging in, boy.
He was.
But he was.
That's what had me so crazy when he quit. I'm like, are you serious? Like,
yeah.
This shit is right in front of you.
Right.
It's like giving somebody a bag full of cash, full of $100 bills, and then they just throw the shit over the bridge, like into the ocean or some shit. Like, what do you?
Yo, look. I think Chavez had a chance to win, bro. Like,
yeah, that's what we agree. Yeah, we agree, 100%.
Yeah, I think he had a chance to win, man. Like.
He was hurting Jacobs, man. He was hurting.
Yeah, that's why. Exactly. That's why after the fight, Jacobs came out and was like, I was in there with a cruiserweight.
Yeah.
Cruiserweight. What the fuck are you talking about?
It was a cruiserweight. Was he heavy? It was heavy though, innit? It was heavy, bro.
I mean, you can tell by looking at it. I mean, I'd be willing to bet you Chavez was probably close to 190 in there. He probably was.
He was, man. I don't think he was 200 pounds though.
No, not 200. Not 200. No. I'd say like a high 180s, but even still, Jacobs isn't a light guy. Jacobs was.
I guess
plus pounds himself at middleweight. So Jacobs was probably in the high 170s, if not the low 180s himself. So.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
And not only that, but I mean, you can't really complain about that when you took the money and went through with the fight anyway.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
free meal. Apparently got free meal. I didn't see the Julio Cesar Martinez.
Good for him.
The Julio Cesar Martinez fight. Right, that fight. I heard that fight was good.
Oh right? Yeah, man. Martinez. It was really good. The first 4 rounds were really, really competitive, man. They were hurting each other, rocking each other. Rosales hurt Martinez really bad in the second round. But then like Martinez just kept piling it on, and Martinez is tricky. It's like he's always switching southpaw, orthodox southpaw. Like he'll switch like 10 times in the same round and shit. And he's just hitting all these. Martinez, the way he throws his punches kind of reminds me of Fernando Montiel.
Oh yeah,
he kind of like come up from under and stuff with like those kind of like weird angle hooks.
Yeah.
And so that, along with the body work from Martinez, he was breaking Rosales down round after round, and then finally the ref stopped it in the 9th because Rosales was just taking a beating, man. Yeah. It got to the point where even Steve Smoker was saying like, "Damn, they should stop this fight." I'm like, "Damn, like if Steve Smoker's telling you to stop it, then something's going wrong,"
Yo, let me ask y'all something. Y'all might know something about this. Y'all know what that offer looked like? Andrade?
What's that?
What Eddie Hearn and the Zone offered Charlo to fight Andrade.
Oh, I don't know about that. Really?
I heard something about it, but I haven't read into all the details about it.
Man, I'm gonna have to call I'm gonna have to call my guys and see what's up with.
Okay,
yeah.
But boy.
Yeah, I mean, I had read like some headlines, but I never like read into it. I haven't had the time. So.
Man, I'll be able to let y'all know probably tomorrow what it's about.
That's cool.
That's cool. Hey, so let's go back. Let's go back to this Chavez thing, bro. Bro, like in the bro, D-Styles made a video. D-Styles thinks it's funny, yeah. But bro, like people are not. Why were they throwing beer at Danny Jacobs? Like, what the frig is that, bro?
Well, it was mostly them throwing beer at Chavez. Like, I think the people were just upset and frustrated, so they were just throwing shit, like damn near about to riot or whatever. You know, they've been drinking all night too, so that probably didn't help.
Yo, and that's the Arizona too, bro.
When Jacobs left, though, like, he left to a bunch of cheers. Everybody was cheering.
Yeah,
so,
but they were friends. Some people were friends.
Yeah, they were cheering them, but again, man, that's Arizona. Y'all ever been to Arizona?
No, I ain't. But you know, I don't know nothing about no Arizona. You have to tell me.
You ever been to Arizona?
Yeah, I've been easy.
All right, so let me tell you something. There's a lot of Hispanics in Arizona, man. Tons of them.
Mm.
You know, and I think, you know, like, people came out to you know, typically, Hispanics support their fighters, especially if it's somewhere where it's a bunch of them and the tickets aren't high and they can get to it. You know what I'm saying? They're going to come out just support because, you know, just that kind of camaraderie, right? I just think the boys just lost their mind because essentially, man, you know, they came out to support me and he quit. Like,
yeah.
You know,
and I think what makes it worse though too, Phil, is the fact that he quit right after a fight where Rosales, you had to probably kill him before he would quit.
Oh, the fight.
Because Martinez was beating his ass. Yeah, Martinez was fucking his shit up. In that fight.
Yeah.
I kept going in and out of that fight, so I didn't really see the full, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember you told me about it in the calendar, and I can't believe
but the first 4 rounds were really competitive. Like, it was looking like it could be like a fight of the year candidate. But then after the 4th, Rosales started really slowing down, and Martinez was turning it up, and he was pot-shotting dude and hitting him with punches from all angles, hooks to the body, and he'd like throw like a right hook to the body and then a left uppercut to the jaw and stuff. Like, he was creating all kinds of crazy combinations and stuff. But that's what I'm saying though, is the fact that like people were saying like, damn, stop the fight with Rosales and Martinez, and Rosales he just kept on going. Like, he was ready to keep going constantly, you know, and he would like when the ref stopped it, he was like, what the fuck you doing, man? Like, I'm still fighting here, but he was getting his ass whooped.
Yeah.
But to go from that to, you know, Chavez Jr. packing it in because his nose hurts a little bit is, you know, that's like, I think a lot of the fans were just really insulted, you know?
Yeah.
And especially the ones that are as to what Phil's kind of going on, that are very much into the Mexican pride, like machismo thing, where they like, it's like they watched Chavez's dad, you know, go through hell and high water, and, you know, in the most punishing, grueling fights you could imagine, and, you know, not back down. And then you see his son, that's the exact opposite. You know, any little bit of adversity and he's packing it in, and it's over.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, man. I just don't think his son does well at facing adversity, you know. I mean, just think about, like, his last couple fights, okay? You know, going all the way back to the Canelo fight. Like,
right.
I mean, even against Canelo, he wouldn't even... And I think he would have had a good chance against Canelo, too, if he just would have let his hands go, throw his jab a little more. But I think he was more so trying to survive than to win the fight.
Well, and I think with Canelo, like, I don't think that was a good weight for him either. He's one of these guys that he's always trying to drain himself down to these low-ass weights that he just can't make them no more. You know, like, he could when he was a kid and everything, when he was, like, 20 years old and shit, he could make middleweight, but he's not that guy anymore.
Yeah, man. You know, but... Even then, man, I just, you know, tonight, for me personally, you know, I wasn't excited about this fight because, to me, essentially, it was 2 guys that I just felt, though, like, don't have, like, no dog in them. Like, they don't have that last gear that makes them, you know, jump from being just a good fighter to, like, a great fighter. Now one of them have that gear. It's just not... That's just something that can't be taught inside the gym. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
no, I get you. I think Jacobs has more of it than Chavez does, though. Because otherwise, I think Jacobs would have floundered when he fought against Zinzurek. And
well, you know, I will say this right here. Jacobs
has
it. Jacob has it when his confidence is good, right? When he's to a point where he's confident in himself throughout the fight. And you know, because like he semi kind of had it against Triple G, but toward the end of the fight, he kind of let it slip away. And even against when he fought Canelo, he would have had a lot of success against Canelo, but again, at the same time, he wasn't really.
He didn't press his advantages. I get what
he didn't press his advantages. So for me, you know, I think if his confidence is there, yeah, I think he'll throw with you. He'll bang.
I get what you're saying. Like he's almost like skittish to like he's almost like afraid of getting knocked out again. Like
exactly
back in the day and shit. Yeah,
exactly.
Like it's in the back of his mind. Like,
that's it.
As he's trading and stuff.
You gotta have that dog in you, man. You gotta be like, and let me tell you something, man. And that's why Derek Chisora is one of my favorite fighters, because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. He know what he going in there to do. Either I'm gonna stop you or you gonna stop me.
Yep.
Like that's his mentality.
Yeah, that's a great example. That's a great example.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a great example. Yeah.
He's a dog, man.
No, yeah, that's the thing. Because he recognizes his own limitations and he realizes like, hey, look, the chance that I'm gonna have in any of these fights against whoever it is to knock them the fuck out. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna swing these hammers and try and put you to sleep before you do it to me.
And then you know what's even crazy about it? Cesar is not like a heavy-handed fighter. You know, it's not like.
I mean, he's looked like somewhat of one recently, at least. You know, lately.
Yeah, recently he has, but essentially he's not. You know,
but I get what you're saying though. Like at the very least, like if Chisora is down on points, like it's going into the 12th round and he's down fucking 8 rounds to 3, he's gonna go out there trying to knock your ass out.
Oh yeah, he's not gonna fucking get stopped.
Yeah, he's not gonna fight the last 3 minutes of the fight to survive and be like, oh well, at least I didn't get knocked out.
Like, fuck that. Nah, he don't care. That boy say, man, shit, you been knocked out once, yeah, fuck it, 2 times, 3 times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, come do it again.
Yeah, it ain't. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Yeah. You know, that's why I think I'm gonna tell you something. To me, out of everybody in the heavyweight division, that's the one guy I would definitely like be kind of like sketchy about fighting, because you just never like at any given, he gonna come at you the whole fight, and he don't give a fuck.
Well, he's one of those guys that like a lot of people, they make a lot of much ado about like fighters' personalities and stuff, but I do think Chisora is really legitimately kind of crazy. I think he is kind of a maniac.
I mean, you might be onto something. I don't know. I like him, man. You know, I like him as a fighter, man. I think he's...
No, I mean, I do too. I'm just saying, like, just in general, like, his mentality is not a normal one, you know? Like, he just throws everything out in, you know, he just throws it out into the wind and sees where it all falls down, you know?
Yeah, man. He's definitely entertaining, man.
He's not one of these guys that's thinking like, oh, like, you know, that last round I got hit with that jab, so I need to do this and that and to avoid it so I don't get hit with it and that it hurts. And no, he's like, man, fuck that.
Yeah. And he'll fight anybody. He just be like
that. Yeah, it's almost like that, like Marcos Maidana mentality, where it's like you just don't give a shit about your opponent. Like, you're coming to do what you do. Whatever your opponent does, that's their problem. You're not worried about it. Man.
Yeah, so what are we saying about like how's Mexico look? There's like 2 fighters now, Victor Ortiz and now Chavez Jr. twice.
Well, Ortiz is an American for one, so
okay,
Mexicans don't really claim Victor Ortiz.
All right, well, hey, when they're ready, they jump off and jump in. All right, so that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
A little bit, no, but even still though, like EJ, if you know the dynamics about that, like Mexican nationals and people that are like loyal to like the country of Mexico and stuff don't really mess with Mexican Americans like that.
Well, Chavez is Mexican though. He's not no Mexican American.
No, I know, but I was talking specifically about Victor Ortiz.
Yeah. Okay, so how's that look?
But that's the thing. I think that's a big part of the reason why there was such much more of an outburst towards Chavez Jr. than there was even with Ortiz. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because it's like they take it that much more personally because of that.
They can't hang that whole thing about Mexicans.
Because like that's the thing. Like long story short, you know, Mexican people tend to think of Mexican Americans as fucking soft.
Oh, okay.
That's just their mentality.
That's what I'm
talking about, like a Mexican fighter versus a Mexican American. Like when you're talking about like Michael Carbajal versus Chiquita Gonzalez.
Yes.
Like they were riding for Chiquita all day. They wanted fucking Chiquita to kill Carbajal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they didn't give a damn about Carbajal.
Yeah, but this the thing, right? So they like end of the day, that was the reputation that people were gonna say, yo, bro. Like, bro, check that Chavez Jr.
Or even like if you look back when Marquez fought against Juan Diaz, Marquez kept saying like, "Well, shit, this dude's an American. He ain't no Mexican." Like, I'm like going there.
That's dread, bro. That's dread, man. That's dread.
I'm gonna be real with you. It's a lot of Mexicans that really fucking like American Mexicans that wasn't really fucking with Andy Ruiz because he wasn't representing American. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, like they do have.
I mean, it goes both ways for sure. Yeah,
it goes both ways. You know, they got like a little kind of not necessarily war going on, but like a little spat between the two. It's kind of strange.
No, you get that in Americans though. You got light skin African Americans, dark skin African Americans, African, West Indian, Caribbean. You get it in Chinese, Japanese, Asian. That's how it is, bro. England, Ireland, Scotland. English ain't the English.
I mean,
India and what is it? India and Pakistan, right?
Yeah. Muslim and Sikh and Hindu. You know what I'm saying? So it is, bro. That's the, like tribal. People are tribal, but the thing is, that the reputation of Mexicans and don't quit, and it come from the loins of one of their greatest champions is more embarrassing.
Oh yeah. No, that's the thing. That's why I think with Chavez Jr. he encapsulates all that.
Yeah, he does.
So, to see the fact that he's the son of a legend, you know what I mean? He's representing the flag and everything. He's representing the country. And, you know, and not only that, but I think just the fact that everybody could see from the very beginning of the guy's career, he's talented as hell. So he's really talented. You know, he has all of the connections in order to get all these big paydays, and he just wastes it. You know, so he's a waste of talent. He's a waste of a name. He's a waste of time. You know what I mean? So it's, you know, it's like it's offensive on every level. You know, it's not just like you smelling something bad, like something got overcooked and burnt. It's like you smelling it and you're tasting it and you touch it and it feels disgusting. You know what I mean? It's like it's offensive, like on multiple different levels. So,
well, this one's even worse though because he was winning the fight.
Yeah, no, exactly.
He's getting his ass whipped.
Well, no, I don't know. I don't think he was winning the fight, but he had a chance to win for sure.
He was winning the fight. Like he was.
I thought he was.
I was winning. I was watching. I thought he was winning the fight, and that's what made it worse. Well, how you score it? How you scored it then? How did you score it then? How many rounds did you give Chavez?
I don't think he was winning. The fight.
How many rounds did you do it for? Because I was scoring the fight, and I was like Chavez was up by like about two rounds, like at that time, like so it didn't make no sense. That's what makes it even worse.
So it went what 5 rounds, right?
5, yeah.
Yeah, I had Chavez up by 2
rounds.
Yeah.
I probably had Jacobs 3-2. I gave Chavez the 5th round, and I think maybe like the 1st or 2nd. I don't remember what it was. Okay. But I gave him the 5th, and I gave him one of those early rounds.
Bro, he was digging in them body shots, and I felt like the elbow was maybe hitting his face, but at the end of the day, it's the pain game, bro. Like dudes, listen, like elbow when you throw a hook. If you follow through with your elbow and it goes across your eyebrow and cut your eyebrow open, that's how it is, bro. Like you look, man. You want things to be hit by the glove, but most of the time you're gonna get elbows, you're gonna get head butted, you're gonna get hit in the groin. You know, this is a serious thing here, bro. Man, will step on your toes. I mean, what do you think? I don't know. He must have been in there. You know, people being tenderfoot with him, like Freddie Roach trying to protect him and that. You know what I mean? Like real talk. This is a serious, painful game, bro. And the guy you're fighting has overcome cancer. So he ain't joking. He ain't joking. Yeah. He ain't joking around. No way, bro. Like overcome cancer. Nah, man. Jacobs is serious.
I actually am excited about Jesse Vargas, Mikey though. That's a good.
I mean,
fight.
that's a good matchup. All things considered,
that's a good matchup, man. To me, that's like one of those non-title fights that you actually get excited about seeing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, because they're of roughly an equal level, I would say. So
exactly.
I think they'll mesh well against each other.
Yeah.
And I mean, Vargas is saying like, "Hey, man, don't be out here talking about Pacquiao. You're not gonna get past me." So I mean, he ain't gonna pull no Chavez Jr. bullshit.
Pacquiao, Mike is going to get fucking destroyed, but that's neither here nor there. So they need.
Yeah, I mean, unless Pacquiao gets old overnight or something, which could happen.
Yeah. Hey, if you get that same Pacquiao, man, the first 6 rounds of that third, we might stop Mike in that bitch, cuz.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's the thing. Pacquiao's kind of interesting to watch nowadays because we never know exactly how he's going to show up. Like, if he's going to get old or if he's going to be that same old explosive knockout artist and all that other good
shit. Because the first 6 rounds against Thurman, man, Pac-Man he had some extra selection spring in his feet and his legs and his arms.
Well, and that's the thing. Funny thing about that fight is I thought Thurman was boxing really nicely up until he got knocked down. He was winning that round. Yeah, exactly. Once he got knocked down, though, like it's like that old adage about like, oh, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth. That's pretty much where Thurman was at once Pacquiao dropped his ass.
But with the second half of the fight, Thurman started boxing good again. I guess he had to put his confidence back, but
he did.
Because once he got knocked down, the whole thing he was thinking in his head, I gotta catch up, and it fucked his whole game plan up.
Right, because it made it so that he left himself open in moments that he shouldn't have, and then it also made it so that he was skittish to take chances when he should have.
Yeah, man, he fucked up.
So he really got fucked up in that fight, man. Honestly, he probably should have been more vehement and saying that he was robbed, because then at least he might have had a better shot at getting a rematch. But ain't no chance of that shit in hell happening nowadays.
Nah, you ain't getting no rematch, man.
Yeah, but that's how it goes. But yeah, no, Vargas and Mikey is a good fight though, man. Because all things considered, I think Mikey's a better boxer than Vargas, but Vargas is just naturally a bigger guy. And he has that big right hand, and if he lands that big right hand, Mikey might be catching some knees. And
Vargas is also. I think Vargas.
He messed up Tim Bradley. Yeah,
got some edge to him. Like he'll dog. Like he'll lay it out on the line to get the win. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
he tossed up Tim Bradley, so Vargas he definitely got a pop on him. You know what I mean? Right. Tim Bradley was a good fight.
Man, somebody asked Tim Bradley to come out of retirement. I was reading. I can't remember who it was. No, Danny Garcia.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
Did you read that shit?
Yeah.
I read that shit. I was like, what the fuck?
Danny's hilarious.
Bradley ain't coming out of retirement.
Matter of fact, doesn't Danny have a fight signed already?
No.
I could have sworn. Yeah, you know what? Ivan Redcash. He's gonna be fighting Ivan Redcash.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man, I got this guy in my comment.
I wanna say that's gonna be in February.
I got this guy.
No, January 25th.
I got this guy in my comment section going in on me about this Fred thing. He trying to say the woman. He said Kenny Porter shouldn't put the woman in front of him. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, dudes are really on this YG.
Human shield.
These dudes are on this YG. YG be influencing the comment section. Good out here, bro. YG be influencing people good.
Yo. That card that has Garcia Redcatch.
Yeah.
There's a really good fight on that card, man. Super bantamweight. Stephen Fulton versus Arnold Kegai. Okay. That's going to be a good fight. That's going to be a really good fight.
I look forward to see that.
They're both undefeated prospects. Really, really good fighters.
I was just about to say, it seemed too early for those guys to be fighting one another. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm surprised to see it.
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of early to be fighting fights like that. But you know what, though? I tell people, though, it's not necessarily a bad thing. You get those kind of fights out the way early, they don't really affect you later on when you actually start getting like title shots. They don't go back and be like, you lost.
Well, and all things considered too, I think as super bantamweight, outside of like the big guys, the big champions and stuff, Ray Vargas and Navarrete and Daniel Roman and stuff like that, like it's kind of open, like the guys beyond that level, like they've kind of beaten most of their top level competition.
Yeah, and you know what? Another thing about those weight classes too, man, it's easier to kind of move around. You know what I mean? Like if it's not going your way. You know what I'm saying? Just move up, like fuck it, move up. You know what I'm saying? So
Depending on the fighter.
Yeah, I got a copy of the fight already, bro. Someone uploaded a copy of the Chavez fight already. Like, I'm gonna sit there and watch this joint right now, bro. So we put it in the chat. Good copy as well, HD and everything. Let me put this shit in the chat.
Yeah, that's cool. Chavez. I think that's the final bridge that he had left to burn.
Yeah. He looked alright though. He looked alright. You can see he put some work in. You can see he put the work in, but if he, with his hair, he looked a state, bro. Look at the color of his hair, man. It's like, what's this?
Crazy.
He look like a punk, man.
Yeah, hey, look, the best thing is, man, that boy daddy face was looking disgusted with his son, dog. Like, man, he was embarrassing.
Saying in the chat, man, I felt bad for him, you know? Like, how, like, you to be Chavez Sr., like, you're a fucking legend.
The woman, bro. It's the woman. It's not even the thing is.
One of the best to ever lace him up and shit, and your son is just a cream, like it's like he's neglected the gifts that he was given since birth,
dude.
And you know,
it's the woman. It's the woman. When you're picking a woman, right? When you're picking a woman, he never picked no prime athlete.
Chavez Jr. has Chavez. That's the thing that Chavez Sr. never had, but is the size. You know, the fact that Chavez Jr. like easily cross over to more people because of that. Because, you know, there's a lot of people that, like, they won't watch anything below the welterweights, or they won't watch anything below the middleweights, or they won't watch anything below, you know, light heavyweights or heavyweights or whatever. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people like that. You know, so, like, he could have had an opportunity to really, like, get even more acclaim than his dad did even.
But this is the thing, right? The woman he chose, she wasn't gonna be. He ain't choose no tough woman. He chose some pretty woman, and probably she, you know what I mean. She probably submissive. And at some point, you know, to make a kid, you need two people. So you can play Chavez.
I get what you're saying. Like mom pampered him.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what he's dealing with. And but he still loves his dad, but he can't be his dad because the genes of his mom. It's probably, if it was the Chavez's genes, if it was Chavez's, like, this is why it's important, yeah. Like, you pick the right woman. You pick a woman who's an athlete, who's been for something. You'll get a different kid. But if you pick a woman, it's innate. But if you pick a woman, we have one half of one great champion that he's willing to get in the ring, but the other half of it can't complete it, bro. The other half can't. The moment he got hit, he was like, yo, my nose is broken. I'm out here. I was like, yo, bro.
I'm gonna be real with you though, bro. Hey, look, I'm gonna be 100% with you. You're right, but you're wrong about Chavez's wife and his mom. Like, I think she more hardcore with the boxing shit than Chavez Senior, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
No, she come to watch. No, you're talking about supporting. I'm talking about her makeup and her gene. That's the other half of the kids.
But I don't think she was soft on him, man. I just think he just. I mean, you look, he fell to the syndrome. Yeah, he fell to the syndrome.
Yeah. No, I mean that's like, true. I mean, like there've been cases where, you know, like kids like that, they grow up, you know, with hardcore parents and they turn out to be soft, and vice versa.
Yeah, you're right.
Softer parents and they turn out to be hard as shit.
But he's that took him everywhere. Like, if you look at the early Chavez's clips, yeah, Chavez Jr. was with him everywhere. Took him all the great fights. His dad brought him everywhere. So you know something was gonna rub off. You know what I mean? Something rub off. But the thing is, he's just a rich kid.
I mean, it doesn't always though.
No, well, he lives in
you watch The Sopranos, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Man, like, look at Tony's son. You know, completely different. Completely different.
But he's educated. But he wasn't bred up in the hardship, and Chavez Jr. wasn't bred up. He was bred up in a mansion, nice house, schooling was good. So how are you gonna be tough when you're in?
Right, no, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, it's not like you can't be. I mean, Corey Sanders, the one that knocked out Vlad Klitschko, he grew up rich.
Yeah, he was.
You know, but he still had enough dog in him to go out there and act the shit out of Klitschko.
Yeah, well, Klitschko was.
And another thing is, man, to me, let me say something, man. To me, you know, Chavez Jr. to me comes off as the guy that fought because he was pressured to fight, but doesn't mean that he wasn't good at it, right? I mean, he's a good fighter, but I think he was kind of pressured to fight. And essentially, I don't think his heart was all the way into it because
I think you're right about that too, Phil. Because he never had an amateur career, but his brother did. His brother,
Omar. Oh, is that Omar?
Yeah,
Omar.
Well, and the thing about Omar is didn't have the all of the talent that Julio does.
Yeah. Julio's more talented. Yeah.
Like Omar, I think is the one that really wanted to box and really wanted to like carry on the Chavez name, but he just didn't have the natural talent to really do it.
Yeah, he had the same tools. He wasn't blessed with the same tools, man.
Yeah. Well, that's how it goes, isn't it? Because I remember, like, the thing is, the only thing about Mexican, they think about Julio Cesar Chavez, because obviously long reign and stuff he went through. But to me, I always think about Salvador Sanchez and some of them other dudes, though. But hey, I'm not going to tell Mexicans who to have their face. But Salvador Sanchez was a bad mama jammer. It's just that he never continued it. You know what I mean? He wasn't as long reigning as Chavez, and Chavez is a multiple weight champion, and
right.
You know what I mean? And the endorsement of the WBC and other guys. You know what I mean?
And also, like, you got to remember, he came around at a time where like fights on TV were like, you couldn't beat that shit.
Yeah, the 90s,
late 80s, early 90s. Like that's
Mike Tyson.
As big as it ever could be.
Yeah, because at the time I grew up, Mike Tyson was big, but I didn't know nothing about really Chavez. Really, I didn't really care. Like in the 90s, all I cared about was Mike Tyson, but Chavez was always there. He was always there.
Right.
Yeah, and big, doing these things in the
Because just the way that King packaged all them dudes, it was like they were a package deal. So you by accident learn about all these other fighters that he had. You know?
Yeah. And Chavez was one of them, bro, coming through. You know what I'm saying? And but listen, it's the same thing like Canelo, right? Canelo is molded in De La Hoya kind of thing, but he's Mexican, just with ginger hair, all right? And if the marketing thing, Canelo would never do this, man. Canelo would never quit. Canelo, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I've given Canelo a lot of shit in the past, but one thing I've always given him credit for is the fact that he has a lot of pride.
Yeah.
If he feels like he's being shamed or whatever, he's gonna like buck back at you.
Yeah. I mean, Ruiz feels shamed about how he performed. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because he didn't do what he wanted to do, and there's a weight and all that, and that's that. But that's because he couldn't perform how he wanted to. But Chavez was performing. Shit, you was performing. You were doing your thing. And you had the weight. And there was drug testing as well. Apparently he cheated on drug testing. Eddie Hearn moved high water and hell to get this thing because he knew he'd do numbers. Now, the fight done numbers. The fight definitely done numbers. But, bruh, like, this guy, who'd ever think this guy would have quit? Come in like a cruiserweight. I don't know if it was a cruiserweight, but he definitely was heavy. You know? Jacobs put hands on him, though, man. Jacobs can...
But did you hear the way that Sergio Mora was talking about him afterwards?
What did he say?
He was giving him the business.
Yeah.
Man.
What did he say?
Hey, man. Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say, Mora was saying like, oh yeah, man, like this guy, like he's a waste of time, and I don't think anybody ever was gonna want to see him again, and all kinds. Like he was basically just saying this shit is over. Like Chavez is done. He's like, like everybody on Twitter, like they like to say like, oh, like so and so is canceled.
Yeah.
Like, he pretty much just said Chavez Jr. is fucking canceled.
Wow.
Like, he gave him a tongue lashing. And the thing about it is, I could see where Moore's coming from, like, because I think he probably feels personally offended from the perspective of a fighter. Because Moore, in order to get the paydays that Chavez gets, had to move hell and high water.
Yeah, that's right. He
had to fucking work his ass off and win these crazy fights where, like, he was an underdog and all kinds of shit, like when he fought Vernon Forrest and all that, in order to get those kind of paydays.
Yeah, Chavez got $4 million for this fight. $4 million. Blood.
It was I think it was 3. It was supposed to be 3, and then it dropped down to 2 because he gave Jacobs $1 million for missing the weight.
Shit, well, Jacobs.
So man, let me ask y'all something. Because we talking about Mexican fighters, this fighter just came to mind. What do you guys think Angulo is going to do? I mean, you think he's gonna retire or what?
That's a good fight. I would might say that.
Well, I mean, they were. Nah, I think he's at the very least trying to get one more big payday. Angulo.
Hey, that'd be a good fight with him and Chavez, man. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Nah, Angulo. Chavez would quit in that fight too, man.
Yeah, man. People would see it though. People would see it. Even if they wouldn't.
Like. Not to talk about the pun too much, but like you want to talk about a fighter that's got dog in him, Angulo does.
Yeah. But you know the thing,
you gotta kill Angulo, but
like even when Angulo was weight drained and he was in terrible shape against Canelo, but Canelo was beating the fuck out of him, and Angulo just kept wanting to go.
But you know the
He
thing
just
is,
wanted to keep
people. You
on
know the
going,
thing is that the fans would want to see it though. The fans would watch it. I know, like they'd hate Chavez, but they'd come definitely.
I mean, they might want to see it just to see Angulo lay waste to him.
Yeah.
Honestly, here's the thing though, EJ. I don't even think you would get that satisfaction because I think Chavez would quit as soon as Angulo started really putting the bees on him.
That's deep, bro.
Yo, Angulo, bro, he is definitely. He's a dog, man. I give him that. He's a dog, but he need to retire.
The way that he went against Quillen.
Yo, I'm looking into the stats.
Guts on his.
Hey, bro, I'm looking into the stats. Yeah, I'm looking into the stats. All I see is CMX.
No, I agree. Man. I agree.
All I'm looking at the stats. I see
both because you can see in that fight that both of them were sharp on his head.
Man, Chavez could really sell tickets. All I see is a sea of Mexican fans. I ain't see no brothers on that joint. Pure Mexican. Whoa, they turned out for this joint here, bro. Good gosh, man. They listen. And what's his name? Is it name thingy Mickey Rock? Mickey Rock was there as
Mickey
well.
Rock, yeah.
Because I remember he could friend with Freddie Roach. He was there.
Right.
He was there helping him out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Mickey trending right now, man.
Yeah, you know, boxing done his face dirty, bro. Boxing done his face dirty. You know what I'm saying? They done messed up his face, bro. Boxing. How many broke?
Man, I wonder when my boy Laura fighting again, man.
Alarm, man. Is that your boy? Oh, man. Damn, you love them Cubans, boy. Shit, man. Alarm, boy.
Yeah, I do, man. I like the Cubans, man.
Yeah, Laura, I'm not sure. I don't think he got.
I like the Cuban fighting style, man.
I'm done with this Chavez thing, man, boy. This saga's over.